In this video, you will listen to what former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, said
President
about Ifeanyi
Goodluck
Ubah and
Ebele
the owner
Jonathan.
of APs.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. His Excellency, the National Chairman of the ruling party, APC, my good friend Ganduje, thank you for being here with us. His Excellency, the President of Senate and the Chairman of the National Assembly, His Excellency, the Deputy President of Senate, other distinguished senators that are here with us serving and former members of the House of Representatives here with us serving and former governors here with us serving and former, especially Ngige and Rochas Okorosha that I've seen, our leaders, my brothers and sisters. Just like one of the speakers said, I feel very sad, bitterly sad, that I'm here for Ifeanyi Ubah's program to celebrate his death, but not something positive like the marriage of his children. Ifeanyi Ubah, as everybody said, is a man of many parts. We know him too well in business and politics. He's somebody that, just like William Shakespeare said, that everybody comes to the world to play a role. Ifeanyi Ubah played his role very well, but he left us when the ovation is still very, very loud, probably so that we will not forget him too quickly. We know him too much about business and politics, which people have said. In politics, I remember somebody, the person who played one Christian song, My Son, talks about the transformation ambassadors of Nigeria. Ifeanyi Ubah started that towards the 2015 elections. And he came to me several times to go and see what they were doing. You know, my slogan was Transformation Agenda. And he formed the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria to promote my own vision. And when I visited his site, I saw 4 duplexes with all kinds of things for campaigns, photographs, pictures, posters, flyers, and everything, with a number of young people working every day. And I was surprised. The investment that he put in, it never consulted me. That is the man, Ifeanyi Ubah. I know later on, he moved with that NGO to even APC. I remember he supported the current president of Lagos also with that. Ifeanyi Ubah played his role, impacted society. He was a community builder. And that is why it's very difficult for you to say you remove Ifeanyi Ubah from Senate if you were to be alive. It would have been easier to pass through the eye of a needle than for you to defeat Ifeanyi Ubah in Anambra South Senatorial District because of the way he impacted the people. He touched lives, both in education, he gave scholarships for undergraduate programs, postgraduate programs, both at home and abroad. He supported small businesses and market women. He contributed to health challenges. I remember even during the COVID, he set up some special centers and funded to help people. In sports, we talked about his football club. People have spoken about that. One thing, yes, it was also mentioned, he was not a journalist, but he founded the authority newspapers. So he put his hands there. It is difficult for me to know a politician that has trusted people with his personal resources the way Ifeanyi Ubah did. With his personal resources, not government resources. He has done well. He has left us. All what we can do is to pray that God So give the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. God should provide for the family. Ifeanyi Ubah, my dear friend, rest in peace.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President of the Senate, please permit me to stand by existing protocols already established. I feel so emotional being here today. I was one of the last people that saw Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah before he left for the United Kingdom. In fact, he flew on my aircraft. I remember Ifeanyi coming to have breakfast with me that fateful morning before he left. And I still remember the discussions we had. Ifeanyi was one of those people, he never believed in never. Very dogmatic, very resilient, very positive, forward-looking young man. He never believed, he never looked down himself. But he was a man with a very big heart. And that was what, drew us closer. I saw myself in Ifeanyi Ubah, he saw himself in me, and both of us formed a union to the extent that I refused to go and see the wife when the news of the death broke because I didn't know how to face her. I'm so emotional that I didn't want to break down in her presence. Instead, I sent my wife. Ifeanyi, I don't think we have to Ifeanyi. And when we say Ifeanyi worked for the Anambra people, I beg to disagree. Ifeanyi worked for the entire humanity, not just Nigerians alone. Wherever he found himself, he touched lives. Even in the Congo, people he never met, people he never knew. I remember when I had an issue, Ifeanyi was there with me from morning till night. From morning till night. And I remember another situation. Ifeanyi is always caring. Ide, he calls me by the name Ide. Your business is so capital intensive. How do you cope? How do you sleep? Okay, do you know, I have this money now. I don't need it. Can you come and take it to help yourself? Ifeanyi did that to me. I said, Ifeanyi, no. We were flying together from Lagos on that morning, the last flight we had together. I said, no, Ifeanyi. I thought he was joking. When we landed, I had to go into the cockpit to, talk with my pilots and the cabin crew and others. When I got down the stairs, Ifeanyi was there waiting for me. That thing I told you, I mean it. Come, I have some money. I said, Ifeanyi, leave it. I'm regretting not collecting that money from Ifeanyi because he may have given it to someone who may not return it to the family. But that was the man we are talking about. So, Ifeanyi was full of love for humanity. He was not tribal. He didn't involve himself in all those divides that try to divide humanity and our country. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Thank you very much, Chief Onyema, and thank you for keeping to that time. And now, please, let's welcome to the podium for his tribute the chairman and founder of United Nigeria, Professor Obiora Okonkwo, for his tribute.
Good evening, everyone. For want of time, please permit me to maintain the established protocol. I met Ifeanyi Ubah 2010. A lot has been said about him. I will only confirm a few testimonies I've had here. I did meet him through Ngige, and I'm confirming that he was actually a strong pillar of Ngige's campaign that time. Ngige said he had a strong team. I confirmed that. I'm only saying I was the leader of that team. Victor May can also confirm that. But the important thing here is that there are different aspects of Ifeanyi Ubah, his private life as a family man, I saw the best of it when him and I flew on an inaugural flight of APIS to London. We drove in the same car to the hotel. We stayed next to each other in the hotel. And then a few minutes after, we were staying next door to each other. All his children in London had all arrived in that hotel. It was the eve of Easter holiday, and throughout our stay there, he was with his children inside out. That's the family man that he is. His strength is enormous. Energy. Somebody had talked about his energy. Olisametiku confirmed one day there was an incident at the Dome, and he needed to be physical as a young man. That was about 15, 18 years ago. Believe you me, when people look at me, they think I'm a strong man by my body build and everything. But 15 people like us, as big as I am, could not hold Ifeanyi down. Olusametu was there. You would touch him, we were falling down. I'm telling you, I've never seen that kind of energy. You dare not face Ifeanyi Ubah in any battle. He has great strength. We enjoyed mutual respect for each other, so much so that he had always compared with me on every political job. I respect the 3 minutes. Oh, you are back to me? Oh, he will always ask me, are you running for this? Because if you are running, I will not run. So that is the respect we shared. I also confirm he was generous. And that generosity was so much support he gave in Ngige, which that was what I mentioned. But you know, that time Ngige didn't tell me he brought something. But I'm happy to hear now he was the biggest donor. So it's a confirmation of his generosity. Thank you very much.
Just before we go to the next item, Your Excellencies, permit me to invite to the podium the wife of the SG